I saw for the life of me a setting Anwanwasem. Pull up the Office of the Special Prosecutor's report, and the matter is in court. So I'll just read what is there. It says, particulars, 1, or I. There are suspicious transactions running through the bank accounts and investments of the first respondent, that is Madam Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, and other transactions which cannot be attributed to her lawful income and her declared or undisclosed sources of income at all material times in a position as a public officer. II. On another score, the first respondent simply refused to speak to the sources of the funds running through her bank accounts and investments. She has refused to speak about it, but the president is confident that she'll come out clean. III. As deposed to in paragraph 8 above, the OSP's criminal intelligence suggested that the first respondent as a minister of state was engaged in an undisclosed and undeclared real estate business in which she obscured and concealed the transactions by employing the use of aliases to avoid detection of the actual ownership of the business and properties, which, while cleverly receiving the proceeds of the transactions in a bank account and investments. The OSP says Madam Cecilia Dapaah had real estate businesses and that she used other people's names to run the real estate. And then Ivy says, no, come back. Ivy says, in an instance, the first respondent sold a SSNIT Boteman Estate flat number BT/OD/BL Block 2/2BL/1 under the name of Nanaya Ode. Nanaya Ode. Indeed, the first respondent appended her signature on all relevant correspondence with the buyer under the name of Nanaya Ode. Concerning the payment, first respondent through her agent gave the buyer her Prudential bank account number. It was only at the point of payment at the bank that the agent of the first respondent revealed to the buyer that the true identity of Nanaya Ode was the first respondent in whose account payment of the purchase price of 117,000 was to be made and effected. A copy of the investigation statement of the buyer in question is attached and sealed and exhibited as Exhibit OSP 15, while the correspondent on the transaction signed by first respondent in the name of Nanaya Ode is attached and marked as Exhibit OSP 16. So, say Madam Cecilia Dapaah had a property, and she had a real estate, and she used aliases. One of the aliases is Nanaya Ode. It's not Cecilia Dapaah, but she signed everything. And yesterday, a senior citizen, I speak with a lot of senior citizens. One of them asked me, what is wrong with this government and double identity? There's Reverend Edu Jemfi, there's Kusi Boateng, right? Reverend Edu Jemfi, Kusi Boateng, remember National Cathedral. Then now there's Nanaya Ode and there's Cecilia Dapaah. Double identity, what's going on? A senior citizen asked me, he said, what is going on? Is this my MPP? What is happening? Now, look at this. A search immediately at the Abelemkpe residence of the respondents by authorized officers of the OSP in the urgency of the case on, I'm sure it's the 24th of July, 2023, led to the discovery of the cash sums of 590,000 United States dollars and 2,862,007 Ghana cedis. Now, when we first broke the story, and we said that monies had been found at Cecilia Dapaah's home, and that it took about 5 hours to count the money, people poo-pooed it and called it fake news. Senior citizens of this country, gray-haired people, that's where my pain is. Gray-haired people, they called it, they said, the fake news. Today, with the benefit of this, what would they say? Now, I progress. Further searches were conducted in 2 other residential properties of the respondents in Cantonment and Tesano in Accra. The cash monies, listen, the cash monies were craftily concealed in wraps, polythene bags, aka rubber bag, clothes, 32 envelopes, and were buried and secreted in obscure places in the residence, some with labels and descriptions. Audiovisual recordings of the search revealing the surreptitiously concealed cash sums of money are attached in a sealed pen drive and marked at OSP 2 series. Now, the monies that the OSP found, according to the OSP at Cecilia Dapa's home at Cantonment and Tesano, they were in wraps, they were in rubber bag, they were in clothes, they were in envelopes. So the narrative that we were fed with, that the money is in a bag, that the money was in a box with a padlock in front, that the money was concealed in a wardrobe, blah, 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 all be lie, according to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. You remember when the first instance came, when the monies were discovered? Somebody told us that the monies were in a certain sports bag, that the monies were in a certain box with padlock in front. You remember that? Now the OSP says the money was not in a box. The money was not in a bag. The money was in a rubber bag. The money was in a rubber bag. Unupa keshika a rubber bag me. But this kind of a rubber bag. One echo. Show me the other one, the other part of the document, where a certain dead person has allowed cash out. Now, there's also another transfer of amount of 149,900 Ghana cedis into the First Responders Prudential Bank CD account number, and all of that. Now, 6, analysis of the statements in the First Respondents Prudential Bank account number, so and so, highly suspiciously transactions involving the name of the first respondent's deceased brother, Nana Akwesi Esan. The said Nana Akwesi Esan died in January 2022, and there is no record domiciled at the financial institutions of probate or letters of administration granted to persons or representatives. Strangely, there are active transfers from the dead person's bank account to that of the First Respondent's Prudential Bank account number, so and so, as recently as 19 September 2022 and May 2023, 23rd May, amounts of 10,450 cedis and 11,280,000 cedis, right? 280,000 cedis, respectively transferred, supported by the deceased brother to the first respondent. Dead man, they transfer money, according to the OSP. Bonyo is send the shika, Owufu or send the sika. This is the analysis that the dead person, because we're told that the money belonged to a dead person, it was given to Cecilia, the part to be kept by the mother who is also dead. So the first narrative we heard in defense was that, oh, everybody who gave the money is dead. Now we are told that the dead person is sending money to an account. Hey, dead person is sending money. Dead person is allowing cash out. This is, Okum Chola is a miracle. I thought that we had seen enough. This one dead person transferring money. Hey. Are you not scared? So why has my father not sent me money? Because my father is dead. I know that he had a bank account. My father used Momo. He could have sent me something small in these economic hardships. Why has my father not sent me money? All the dead people I know, if they decide to send me 50-50 Ghana, by now, like mango chop. Hey! Ah, well. Let's take a look at Parliament, please. The Speaker of Parliament has set up a committee to investigate issues with the police, IGP, etc. Play the video for me, please. was Parliament. On the night that Speaker Bagbin was going to be endorsed as Speaker of Parliament. And Oliver, please indulge me. Speaker Bagbin was going to be endorsed as Speaker of Parliament. The brochure that we saw, Sixtus can bear me with, the brochure that we saw in Parliament on that night had already been printed with Professor Michael Quay's picture at the front as Speaker of Parliament. We have not had the elections for Parliament, for Speaker of Parliament too. I saw that myself. Any journalist who was in there, and any special guest who was there saw it. That the brochure that was brought to Parliament, the elections for speakership had not happened. But Professor Michael Quay's picture, if you open the first page, Professor Michael Quay's picture was there as Speaker of Parliament. Pre-occupation, that had already been decided. So when things started going south, the soldiers had to come in, whoever ordered him in. If the defense minister says, I didn't order him in. Interior minister says no. Everybody says, I didn't order him in. National security minister says no. But the people entered the floor of Parliament. And you know, if you have covered Parliament before, to enter the chamber of Parliament, if you are not a member of Parliament or you have not been summoned or invited, it is supposed to be a wrong thing. And you are supposed to be held in contempt of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, I greet you this morning, humbly. That's why I wore your hometown hat. I greet you this morning, Mr. Speaker, and I ask you a very simple question. Are you as interested in who broke into Parliament on the day that you were being made Speaker of Parliament, or have you decided to sweep it under the carpet? Because all of you speak about protecting the democracy, protecting the democracy. Parliament is a very important organ of the state. And if anybody had the presence of mind to bring soldiers onto the floor of Parliament, I'm told it was a colonel that led them into it. And I'm asking myself, what is a green beret doing in the chamber of Parliament? This is not supposed to be in the urban force or something. So that's the question I'm asking, Mr. Speaker. When are you setting up a bipartisan probe into those who broke into Parliament? Because they broke into Parliament. When are you setting up a bipartisan probe to look into? You see the way everybody is interested in the IGP, COP, Mensa, Superintendent Asari, Superintendent JB. And now we are turning the conversation from who recorded it to how it was recorded and not dealing with the substance of the matter. I want us, Mr. Speaker, as a matter of urgency, and respectfully so I ask, set up a bipartisan committee and let us find out how this was occasioned. Because, you know, coming events cast their shadows. Today we are talking about Wagner in the Western region. And the Wagner narrative sounds to me like the Western Togoland narrative. It started with Papa V, Dr. Leo McPalm. In fact, ACP Dr. Agojo will go home this year. He turned 60 this year. He will go home this year. Now, he only saw a WhatsApp message, I'm told. And he has been dealt with up until now. Dr. Leo McPalm is dead. President Papavi is dead. We saw how the soldiers with the helicopters went there, they rounded up people and all of that. That narrative there, the British Togoland thing, sounds like this whole Wagner thing. And when that British Togoland thing happened, we suddenly started closing borders and everything else. It was just around the same time. Elections are coming again. Are we playing out the same narrative? That is why I'm asking for a bipartisan probe. Who called the sheriff to come into the chamber of Parliament? Mr. Speaker, you should be interested. If you don't investigate this and bring finality to it before you leave, it will be on your head, Mr. Speaker. I'm telling you, Ghanaians will forever blame you that you came into power on that altar and you failed to investigate the matter that you're supposed to investigate. So I greet you. And we end with this Nkrumah quote. There's a selected speeches of Nkrumah. He had a 7-year development plan. Tomorrow is Nkrumah's birthday. Please pull it up. Let's quickly read it, just a portion of it. Paragraph 2 says, in order that our resources are not wasted by corrupt practices, and in order to prevent any attempts at personal greed and aggrandizement at the expense of the people and the state, steps will be taken to ensure that no contractor shall offer any gift, no contractor shall offer or give or agree to give to any person in the service of the government of Ghana any gift or consideration of any kind as an inducement or reward for doing or forbearing to do or for having done any act in relation to the obtaining or execution of any contract by the government of Ghana, or for showing favor or disfavor to any person in relation to any other contract for the government of Ghana. Today, the story is different. I leave you with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's picture. Have a very, very good morning. And please, Business News is up next. By all means, keep watching TV3, keep listening to 3FM 92.7.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water.